What's up, guys? Dan here. A goal over the past couple years of my life has been to start kind of posting a little bit more online and sharing some development content and really just trying to build a platform. I've spent the past couple years really just trying to work on myself in terms of personal development, kind of like life coaching a little bit, but also sales training and really just trying to build. So something I'm excited to do is start posting a little bit more frequently and really just see what I can share for the benefit of others. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna kind of talk about where I've been in life over the past few years, some of the things that I've been through, and just like a couple quick lessons that I learned. So I appreciate everybody's time and kind of excited to get into this. So, I don't come from a really tough environment or any like ridiculous adversity. I know a lot of people, they have challenges like that in life. I can say I've been very fortunate and blessed. I come from an amazing family. My father, my stepmother have been tremendous in my life. I have two loving sisters who have always been there for me. And really I've just always had a great support system. What I can say though is I used adversity at one point as something which really held me back, and I think it's super cool that I have the opportunity to be open about that right now. So I lost my mother to cancer when I was 15 years of age, and I completely used that as an excuse to do the wrong thing. I took a straight victim mentality, and it really just kind of set me back in life. So if it was not being the best family member that I possibly could be, if it was not doing well in school, if it was just not applying myself in life, I really kind of eliminated some options for myself, and I just set myself back, bottom line. So by the time I graduated high school, I kind of went through the route that a lot of people go through. I just did college because I felt like that was the right thing for me to do. However, I had no direction. I had no real goal in mind as to what I wanted to accomplish or what major. So I went through a transfer module at a community college, and I worked a full-time job while doing it. I ended up dropping the classes, wasting a lot of money, and really just kind of from the age of 19 to 20, just going through the motions, being lost. By the time I was 21, 22, I wanted to put good into the world. That was something that I knew. And I knew that I'd spent the past couple years not really moving how I needed to move, but still at that same time frame, I wasn't really ready to take the next step. So I went through a firefighting academy down in Southeast Ohio and EMT, and I started paramedic school. However, you take you everywhere you go. And that's a quote that I live by. You take you everywhere you go. So at the end of the day, I took my same immaturity, bad habits. I surrounded myself with people who were a lot of fun. But at the end of the day, I still wasn't doing the right thing. I dropped the classes that I took. And at this point, by 22, 23, I kind of feel like I'm a loser, and I'm literally stressing in life, wondering if I'm just kind of, one of those guys that just burns out. So by the time I was 23 years of age, I think the best thing that ever happened to me was I didn't have anybody specifically in my corner to help me out. My family, they told me that they love me a lot, they really appreciate me, but I'm getting to the point where I gotta figure this out. So what I can say, I had some really close friends. My boy Alex was there for me. I have a friend named Matt, a friend named Nick, a friend named Zach. Those four were just like super, super essential in my early 20s. You guys will always mean the world to me. But at this point in life, I still wasn't ready to do the right thing. And I had fake confidence everywhere that I went. I lived for the weekend. I just wanted to get through my work week doing blue-collar manual labor jobs, and I really just was excited for Friday, Saturday night where, I could just have some fun. By the time I was 24 years of age, I kind of hit a rock bottom. My self-esteem was just shot, and I looked back, and it had been 9 years since my mother had passed away, and I hadn't really progressed in life. I hadn't accomplished a degree. I was still working, living paycheck to paycheck. I didn't really have any goals. I didn't love myself. That's the easiest way to put it. So I kind of just reached a point where I just got sick and tired of being sick and tired. So I know a lot of people, they'll go and they'll look for different jobs, and it's like that everlasting search where you check Indeed and you see maybe I qualify for this, maybe I don't, but I saw a job ad, and I'm a huge Cleveland Cavaliers fan. They won the championship in 2016. I just smiled even when I just said that. It's crazy, but the job title, it said, Cleveland is a city of champions once again, and at this business, we practice championship habits every day. I go in for an interview, and I had no idea what I'm about to expect. But the guy, he was wearing a shiny suit. There was a real, cool girl working in the lobby, and I just essentially got a good vibe from these people, and I was willing to give it a shot. I had no idea what the heck I was about to be doing, but what I can say is that I followed my heart and ended up being the best decision that I possibly could have made. So, he said that we do direct marketing and we do sales and all these different things, and I'm just trying to, seem like I understand what's going on. What does marketing even mean? It's the most broad term possible. Sales, that's cool. Is that a business? Is that over the telephone? I'm thinking it's like, a call center job. And I show up for my first day. I accepted the position. I was very grateful for it. And I find out that I'm going to be working straight commission, and I'm knocking on doors. And essentially, the second I figured that out, I said, man, they're good. They got me. And my whole plan was to literally just go through the day, be polite. But there was no chance that I was about to be doing this. I'm somebody, I wanted to do a job that was socially acceptable. I thought, what would my friends think? What would my family think? As I went through it on my first or second day, my trainer was a super cool guy. His name's Antonio. And essentially, it was fun. I don't know how else to put it. We were just knocking on people's doors, talking with people, and, there was a lot of rejection involved, but I'm somebody who's that guy at a gas station. I've always been this way, where if I could just strike up a conversation and say what's up, I love that, man. I love just meeting people and connecting, and I don't know, it's just something about me. And essentially, I went out my second week. I chose to stick it through, see what it was, and I high-rolled the whole entire company in production. I didn't know that I was even capable of that, but it was just the best blessing I could have asked for. That kind of gave me a little shot of confidence. So over the next month, I kept performing, I kept producing, and I earned the right to, kind of have different responsibilities. I started to, believe in myself a little bit more, carry myself better, and I was just happier. I made better money than I was making at the previous positions that I held. So one thing that I live by is, if you like what you're doing, you can see opportunity in what you're doing, and you enjoy the people that you're around, along with making money, who's anybody really to judge you? So, I'm paying my own bills. Nobody's gonna bail me out. So, I kind of just took a leap of faith, and I went all in at this. So after about 6 months, I earned a promotion in the company. I was a leader in my office. I earned the right to be an assistant director, is what the position was called, where I kind of got an opportunity to shadow how to actually run a location, how to manage other individuals, how to learn how to run an interview in the company. And mind you, I'm a guy who's just failed at the last 15 things that I've tried in life at this point. And for some reason though, I wanted it so bad. So what I can share now, the reason why everything I did in my life wasn't working for me was because I didn't really have a why or a purpose or a reason to succeed. So I think that turning point in my life was when I was 24 years old, and it was on my birthday, and I only received 3 text messages from anybody wishing me happy birthday. And I realized, man, it's been 10 years since my mother had passed away, and this isn't who I was supposed to be. I was a guy, I played baseball growing up, I ran cross country, basketball, track, and I was super involved, a straight A student. I always thought I was gonna go to Ohio State and graduate and create all the success. I wanted to be a general manager or a sports agent or some type of coach, but essentially I just kind of felt like I failed, and I just used all of that pain and I connected it to a goal. So I decided that at no cost was I going to fail, and I would do whatever it took to be able just to make something of my life. And I wanted to put good into the world. The same way that I wanted to as a firefighter paramedic, I realized though that wasn't the path for me, and I wasn't ready to take anything on at that time. So I'm here, I'm 25 years old at this point. I've been in this business 6 months to a year, and there was a promotion up that I had the opportunity to honestly manage a location for one of our clients. So, I took a leap of faith again. I jumped on the opportunity. It was pure commission. I had to put an office lease in my name. But what I can say is the backing that I have by the company, the mentorship, the support, it was a no-brainer for me. I believe that if you go all in, you give 100% at something, that's the only way that you can ever get 100% back. It's kind of like a Coke machine. If you put in 98 cents, but the Coke cost $1, well, all you did was lose 98 cents. So I went all in. I kind of became very, very difficult to get a hold of. If there's any close friends that I've had that I haven't been in contact as much, obviously I still keep contact, but not in contact as much over the past couple of years. It's really just because I went all in at my goal. I wasn't happy with who Dan was by the age, the first 24 years of my life, really. And I really, really, really was just determined and driven just to build something. And I wanted to reach my potential. And I didn't know what it was that I was meant to do or what it was that I would be good at or succeed at. But I knew that if I could fully apply myself to something, I could make it happen. So, after about 6 months, I moved to Grand Rapids, Michigan at this point. This is where I ran a location. My girlfriend moved with me, worked with me. That's the best person that I possibly could have ever had in my corner. We really went from having no idea what the heck we were doing to being able to really, really create some success by the time I was out of Grand Rapids. So, an opportunity opened up to run a location back in my hometown of Cleveland. About a year ago now, and I jumped on that with everything I had. This past July, I have it right here actually, this is not by design, but this past July, I won the Director of the Year position for our company, and honest to God, that's nothing that I ever even had aspirations to. I'm a guy who essentially was just burned out with no plan at the age of 23, 24. And by the age of 26, 27, I had a 6-figure-a-year position. I have a beautiful 3,000 square foot office in my hometown of Cleveland. I've been able to, really just, obviously I haven't achieved maximum success yet whatsoever, but I've been able to live a lifestyle which was greater than I had even dreamed of. And this happened over just a couple of years. The reason this happened, though, was all because I didn't give up at a door-to-door commission sales company. And what I can say, if there's anybody that's still watching 13 minutes into this, don't worry about anybody else's opinion in life. Nobody knows what your trials, your tribulations, your specific challenges are. Obviously, friends, family, important people to you, definitely take their word into consideration. But you gotta follow your heart, and that's the only way that you're ever gonna really be able to achieve what you can achieve. Because if you would have told me about 4 years ago that I'd be in the position that I am right now, that I'd have an office space and different assets and really just kind of find more peace with myself than I had at other points in my life, there's no chance that I would have believed you. So, fall in love with your potential. Work at whatever it is that you want to do. I'm not saying that everybody has to go take a job that's commission or do something just so out of the blue or out of the ordinary, but just be real with yourself. If you try and actually do something for anybody else's approval or validation, you're gonna make that person's heart feel full. But if you're not working on yourself, you can only give what you have. So sometimes in life, in order to be selfless, you have to be selfish first. Because if you're not right, you can't be right for others. So, this is a great opportunity. Thank you for everybody who's gone into this and listened for the last 15 minutes. I appreciate it, and I can't wait to start posting some more content.